WWW.
All right, then they
All
get
right, look. Okay. It's whatever. We can just start talking, bro. It doesn't
okay.
matter. I don't think
Yeah.
Yanni's ever joining.
What's it
Okay,
called?
look.
I can lay out the reason
Uh,
first.
well, I mean, I just want to establish a couple things first. So, with the thing, I'm assuming it's the same thing that it used to be, right? It's the reductio thing.
Yeah, the reductio is never responded
Okay.
to.
Okay. So I guess. So just want to just establish a couple things. So I think you have the similar reason to see. So the first point, you think that that's fine, right? You think
Yeah.
that I won that, and then the last point about circularity, you think I won that, but there's no response to the reductio in the second point, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So then you would agree if that isn't even a reductio, you would agree he would have lost?
Stipulating that Draco thing isn't a reductio.
Like if that reductio wasn't even a reductio within itself to my position, you would agree Draco would have won, right?
Yeah, well, maybe, but like the thing about reductios is that it's like some level of subjective. So, like I can like take it to be a reductio, and you can take it like not to be a reductio.
Well,
And like,
well, I mean, here's the issue. I think when you lay it out under my view, which is what we were operating under, right? Because what he was doing for the second point was an internal critique, right? He was saying, look, operating under your view, it's contradicted, right, within the story. And
wait, I
for
just want to preface. I just want to preface. I forgot.
yeah.
Like the claim that I'm making, like for this entire debate, is that insofar as the recording, like insofar as what was said in the recording that you lost. Like I don't know about like anything else that happened before that or any
I'm
kind of like
not citing
situation
anything
where,
that happened. I'm not
yeah.
saying anything that happened before. I'm
I just
saying
wanted to
within the
clarify that.
recording. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we'd be talking about other than the recording.
I don't know.
So, okay. Yeah, okay. So again, with the whole idea of the reductio, his reductio, you would agree that he presents under. So I guess we'll just walk it from the top of the point. His contradiction to the initial point is that he says that Garp is stronger than Kizaru, right? You agree
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, that's a
And then
contradiction.
his way of evidencing that is going to be through Garp having these better feats on Marco
Yeah.
than Kizaru, correct?
Yeah, and then
All right,
Kizaru
and
performs
then
worse than
yeah,
Marco. I mean,
all right.
then Garp.
So okay, so then after that, I obviously disagree with this, and I'm like, okay, my first sort of I say there's multiple reasons that this is wrong. First thing, I think that they're holding back, and the reason my motivation to believe that is that they don't want to destroy Marineford, and then that's
Yeah.
when he presents the quote unquote reductio, which is going to be that he's like, okay, well, if he's trying to hold back, right? Then did you first off agree that he got kicked into Marineford? I'm like, yes. And then he's like, okay, do you think he let himself get kicked into Marineford? And I'm like, I don't necessarily think he let
Yeah, you
himself.
denied it.
Now, yeah, so now I don't think that that is even a reductio to my position operating under my view. And the reason that I believe that, and this is something that me and Shinner just talked about, he agrees with that as well, is that when it comes to this thing being a reductio, there is no issue with somebody being at, let's say their max level is 100, right? They're going at 80, and within that 80, index towards that 80, they're going all out. So they're not letting this guy do this thing, right? It's like, for
What?
example, if I were to debate, let me explain, right? So I'm saying that if I'm debating you, right? Let's say I'm not going all out in the debate, right? That doesn't mean that I now want to let you, right, win. I can still be trying to win operating under that idea of me operating at whatever percent I'm at. So it's not a reductio. It's not a P and not P to my position.
Wait. Okay, reductios aren't supposed to like give typically P and not Ps. And what you're just saying is that
Okay, wait, just to be clear, the word he used was contradiction, not reductio. So I just want that. So we were saying what's in the
no,
rec.
he's retarded.
What's in the rec?
Yeah,
He presented us.
he's retarded. But like I'm just saying that like what you're basically trying to say is that in this, Kizaru or whatever could have been going 80%, but he still didn't have the intent to like get kicked into the base.
No. Okay, wait. Okay, so what I'm saying is that I guess. So I'm saying that he doesn't have this intention of letting himself get kicked into the base, right? Because the statement that I brought up is that they literally just stated to not want to do this thing, right? They do not want to destroy the thing. And obviously we're operating under this critique, which is going to be that, look, I'm saying that I just think that they're holding back because of this thing. He can be holding back while still not wanting to get kicked into the thing, right? And that's the whole thing. That contradiction. And once I respond and say, look, he doesn't necessarily have to let him. He never lays out why it's a contradiction. He never does anything. All he does is spurg out. Unless you want to show me in the rec where he lays out the actual contradiction.
The issue is that you didn't give that interpretation.
Which interpretation?
Like
I don't need to give it. I don't need to give it if there's no contradiction laid out.
No.
Where's the contradiction laid out?
Look, the only contradiction that was laid out was that oh, Garp is both over Kizaru and not over Kizaru. That's a contradiction. And then what's it called? Like he got
You
into the
wait.
reductio. He got into reductio. Yeah, it's just how you lay out the contradiction. Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
okay,
into
you
reductio saying that
that's
oh
not the you're conflating the two things. That's not what I'm
no,
talking
he's
about.
saying that Kizaru
That's
is both over Garp and then Garp is both over Kizaru. Like that's the contradiction.
okay, so again, you're not understanding where like this is coming from. So again, I
Huh?
agree that that contradiction is laid out. I'm saying that the way he goes about justifying that contradiction, right, is via the Garp over Marco and Kizaru below Marco. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's where I question the Marineford thing. The quote unquote contradiction that he then tries to posit after is what I'm referring to here, right? The whole thing about the letting versus him getting kicked in. That's what I'm referring to.
I didn't.
I don't think that that is an actual refutation. And the issue is if that doesn't actually become a contradiction, if that's not actualized to be a contradiction or an issue to my
I
view, then wait, hold on. He has no refutation to the fact that he can just be holding back, and then his justification for the contradiction, for the initial contradiction, just falls through.
Okay, the issue is that like I'm looking at my notes right now. All Draco says is that oh he's trying to protect the base, whilst letting himself get kicked into it. I don't see him trying to lay out a contradiction right there. What I see him try to lay out is just some kind of like oh this doesn't make sense. Oh there's some inconsistency. Oh the writer wouldn't write like this. Something like that. I don't see him trying to make it like a contradiction right there.
Well, again, the issue is that it's not inconsistent under my view. So again, if it then becomes for you an intuitive thing, I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's just like I mean, it's just I wouldn't really care for it. I don't think most people would care for it. I mean, if our disagreement comes down to an intuitive thing about his thing, that's like okay. But
I'm pretty
again,
sure.
like if you ask him what he's saying is a contradiction. That's what he says even after, right? During the circularity point. He's like, look, I give him a contradiction, and then he
No,
went circular. That's
ooh, no,
verbatim.
no, no, no. Okay, wait. So the thing that he's calling a contradiction is that his overall arcing point that the reductio like tries to grant, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm
like
aware.
the
That's our difference in interpretation. That's what I'm saying is
yeah.
that if you're
He's not
gonna wait,
saying
hold
that the
on.
reductio itself is a
Oh my
contradiction,
god.
Sakazuki. He's not saying that.
Okay, yeah, I know that's your claim, right? You'd never be able to justify that. So again,
He
you're
never said it.
positing that I lost.
We can go through the whole
You,
recording. He
yeah,
never said
again,
that the reductio itself is
wait,
a
hold.
contradiction.
Wait, okay. When did he call it a reductio? The whole point is here we have two interpretations of what he said with those questions. I'm saying that I believe he was trying to posit a contradiction. You're saying that he was trying to posit a reductio and just trying to make it so, oh, this doesn't make sense.
It's better
Now, what I'm
explained.
saying, wait, hold on. No, wait, right? I know you think that. The point is, you are positing I lost. You are defending why I lost. I
Yeah.
need you to give the argument why it's
It's
likely this. Go ahead.
it's better explained by the fact that what Draco said wasn't a contradiction for him not to be talking about a contradiction. It's better explained that by
That's
the
begging.
fact.
That's circular shit. No.
I mean,
So
okay,
again, no, that's
Yes,
circular shit.
hold on, wait. Just be
That's
clear.
circular
Yes or no to
shit.
the question was what he said was a contradiction.
Huh?
You
I
think
don't
no? You
believe.
think no? You
Wait.
think no?
What? I
Right?
don't. I believe it failed to be, but I don't think that proves that it
Wait.
was.
I just want a yes or no
Yeah.
to like the question, like
I don't need
literally.
to.
Wait,
I don't need to answer yes or no.
what, dude? Okay, hold on. Like, is what he said like trying to
Again,
posit a contradiction?
Shiki, I'm not one of these shitty IRL debaters going down
Dude,
to your
I
little
don't
linear
know.
fashion or whatever the fuck you want to do.
I
So
don't know why you can't just answer that.
again, what you said is circular, right? I don't think that
Huh?
because he failed to make this a contradiction, because it wasn't a contradiction, that likely means he was intending for it to not be a contradiction. I don't think that I don't see where that follows. How does that follows at
It
all?
explains the data better
How does
because
that follow?
you're saying that.
Formalize
So
that.
wait,
Formalize that.
just wait,
Formalize
you
that.
can't.
Formalize that.
I can't.
Formalize it. I don't care.
I
Formalize
I
it.
can't.
Formalize it.
Do you want me to give a
Formalize it.
formal argument for
Formalize
it?
it. Formalize why the fact that
What do you mean
it
formalize?
failed to be
I
a
don't know.
yes. So formalize the argument as to why it follows that if he failed to make this a contradiction, right? It wasn't a contradiction. That means that his intention was likely for it to not be a contradiction. Go ahead. Give that.
I'll try to formulate an argument. If I can't, then I'm just gonna give you the natural terms. P1. Hold on, let me think real quick. If Draco arguments that wasn't a that's in display tradition, then then not If Draco gave an argument that didn't explain a contradiction, then I can like do like parsimony or something. It didn't explain a contradiction. Then solicitor. That didn't exist this way. Contradiction, solicitor. See. Try to assume. P1 is just supported by. Though the data is explained better because my interpretation posits only what's said and it explains it fully, while posits more and doesn't explain it fully.
Yo.
Okay, yeah, that's the argument. Wait,
Okay, yeah. Before we get into that, can I just show you a timestamp real quick and see whether this potentially changes your mind about him pausing this as a contradiction?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. All right. Look at this real quick, because he doesn't say anything like it doesn't make sense or anything like that. He verbatim states that this would mean I have no basis to say it because of because of this. Like you can see it here.
That. Okay, wait, yeah, play it.
What do you mean you don't know what that means?
Wait, play it. Play it.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you because I know you're just gonna debate Goon about it anyways, because you're not coming in here to like actually truth seek about the debate. You're just.
I'm actually trying to truth seek. Like I would say like.
I don't think. I mean, just based off of what you just said already, I really doubt it. But either way, like at 9, if somebody says that what I'm about to tell you means that the basis you just gave is no basis at all, that's not saying that the basis you gave makes no sense. It's that, or there's like it's like less likely. It's just saying there's none at all. Like it just doesn't work, right? I'm taking that as a contradiction.
No. The reason why it's not is because like later he then says that he then asks you for a basis on that. So he's admitting right there that there's possibly a basis that you could have to explain the data right there. And if it was a contradiction, you wouldn't possibly have.
Wait, you think if someone says, "Wait, hold on," so you're telling me you're truth seeking, but when he says someone has no basis before he goes into wait, hold on. He's saying, so he says that someone has no basis, right? I think you know what no means, right?
Okay,
0.
yeah, but by
no... Wait, hold on, let me finish, right? You think that when someone says that someone has no basis, and the reasoning why they have no basis is X, right? Which is this thing that he goes into that you think is just him saying, oh, this doesn't make sense, is him saying that it's still possible. He's allowing for possibility while saying there's 0?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, he's saying that what's it called?
Yeah, that's just
as of right now.
What do you think 0 means?
Let me finish. He's saying that as of right now, yeah, you don't have a basis, and then he asks you for a basis because he does grant that there is possibly a basis. Yeah, that even supports my point even more.
No, he doesn't. Wait, hold on. No. He doesn't ask me for basis about why they want to. What's it called? not destroy the base anymore. He asked me for basis for them holding back. He's asking for different basis. He doesn't ask. No, we can watch it right now. We can watch it right now. Oh yeah, okay. No. That basis does not matter. Wait, no. That does not. That's not sequitur at all. That is not fault. No. Hold on. That does not work. That does not work at all. Because again, what he's saying I have no basis for is what he's saying is no basis or not basis is the idea of them not trying to destroy this building. What we're talking about, whether it's a reductio in the sense of just saying it doesn't make sense, or an actual or an actual contradiction, is about whether or not he's trying or not trying to destroy the base. Right? Him asking. So wait, hold on. Oh, stop saying no when I'm saying I'm gonna show you the fucking recording. If the recording says what I'm saying, will you agree with me then? So you keep saying no, that's not what he's saying.
I have a different part of the recording, like, dude. So what I'm reading in my
we can go to that right after.
What I'm reading in my notes right now is that Draco then asks for a basis and saying that Kizaru's actually holding back upon agreement that Kizaru was kicked into the base by Marco. So yeah, that basis, what's it called, is still contingent on this, like, the hierarchy basis is still contingent on that lower basis, which he has that in question as well. So yeah,
you just blabbered. I need you to be more clear. That literally just not. You just went circular shit.
Yeah,
if you just repeated what you said earlier,
that is definitely not circular. Like what he said.
It is. Okay, so again,
you said what I said, and I can repeat it.
You can think that. We can ask Infinity right now. I promise you, no one thinks you're right.
I genuinely.
No one thinks you're right.
But yo, like
Infinity, can you listen? Infinity, are you here? Oh yeah, shut up, bro, shut up. I'm just gonna local mute. I'll local mute you. I don't need you to repeat. I'm gonna repeat my argument because I think you're just going circular. Yo, Infinity, are you here?
Keep this good faith. What the fuck?
No, bro, Infinity. It's again, you're not being good faith. You're just lying. So again, Infinity. Don't step in. Okay, so I'm gonna just local mute you. Why'd you add him to the group chat if he's not even gonna be able to give his opinion?
I said he's a spectator. What the fuck? I literally said
I'm not gonna speak to you until you say that we can get his opinion, because you are literally just saying, oh yeah, no, I'm not going circular, when you just repeated your fucking argument.
I literally said he's a
spec. Yeah, I'm aware you think that he's now referring to the same basis. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm telling you the recording says otherwise, and you just keep yapping instead of letting me play the fucking recording.
This is so crazy.
You're a retard.
I'm dead.
You're a retard. So again, unless you're gonna let me play the recording, you can type in chat. Until you let me play the recording, I'm not engaging with you. You're just ducking. You're like unironically.
You can concede if you want.
It's not about conceding, right? I just like literally unmuted you as well. It's about you're just ducking the recording. So I'm gonna just play this for my recording. I'm gonna play this for my recording that I'm recording right now, and then we can be done here. So just gonna lie.
Okay, okay, play it, dude. It's not gonna change anything.
That's fine. He can get kicked in the base. Sure.
So he's trying to stop the base from getting destroyed, but lets people kick him into it.
I don't necessarily think he.
So actually attack that. Hold on. For one, there is no basis that Kizaru is actually trying to stop.
So just to be clear for the recording, he literally says no basis. Not that there's some. No, you're gonna get muted for the recording.
What the fuck?
So again, since trying to interrupt the recording, I'm muted. So the point is that at 9:14, he literally just verbatim states no basis. Right? When we look at the colloquial definition of no, obviously we know what no means. That means zero, right? Not there is some possibility that there's a little possibility means no, right? That's colloquial definition. Again, he's claiming to be truth-seeking, but he's just lying. We'll continue.
Place if you think Marco actually kicked him into the base.
I think that's fine. He can get kicked into the base, sure.
So he's trying to stop the base from getting destroyed, but lets people kick him into it?
I don't necessarily think he let him.
Okay, so how is he holding back then?
And again, as I stated, and how Shiki tried to lie, as I stated, he verbatim asked, how is he holding back then? Right? He's not asking for the same reasoning or the same basis, right? The initial basis was them trying to not destroy the base. He literally verbatim, right, states that, oh yeah, no, what is the basis then? Right? Then implying, okay, what is it then? Given this contradiction, right? Again, it's a contradiction. It's zero, none, not that it's possible, zero, right? It's just horrible for Shikio. So now I'm going to unmute him. He's going to go circular, and then we can be done.
Yo, I'm so like astonished that you just talked to yourself for like a minute, cuz like it's actually been insane. Look, can you keep on playing the recording when he says that, when he asks for a basis, which is also granting that there is possibly a basis?
What's the timestamp for it?
You just gotta keep on playing. I didn't include the timestamps in my notes. You can just keep on playing it.
All right. I mean, for what I recollect is this where I give this thing he calls circular, but I mean, sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just explain. Okay, so you're defeater to why he wouldn't be trying to destroy the base. Why he's trying to not destroy.
I'm just asking you to demonstrate that he's actually holding back to prevent destroying the base in the first place, for one, and then for two, pointing out this example to show why that would be at odds with things he's doing within the model.
he's
So
right there, just
I'm
ask for your
going to
basis.
explain why. Okay, so it's important to know right now. So again,
He's
he
asked for your
asks
basis,
for again. He can ask for new basis because he's saying that the old basis, right, is contradicted because he says 0. He says no.
Whoa!
Like what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Whoa!
Whoa!
What are you saying? Whoa! What does no mean? Let's get the definition. Go to Google and then search up no. Go search up the definition of no. Search up the definition of no. Search up the definition of no.
So no, wait, by no,
I'm muting you again. So again, until you send the definition of no, I'm not talking to you. Like, I don't know why Yanni isn't here. Like, I don't know why Infinity joined if Infinity's not going to actually moderate. You don't do shit. You don't progress. You just talk. Like, we can get Yanni to join VC to actually progress.
Shit, bro. No doesn't mean there are necessarily no possible civil worlds in which something is the case. I'm fucking crying. Oh my god.
So just to be clear for the rec, the definition of no that I'm providing is not any, not at all, to no extent, right? So again, those are the colloquial definitions of no. Shikio is currently yapping just to the chat saying, oh, this and that, right? Yeah, so again, yeah, Shikio, you just, what you said, right? I'll mute you so you can say that for the rec. Go ahead and say what you just said in chat for the rec. Yeah, insofar as that moment you didn't have one.
Yeah, sure. So insofar as that moment, like, you didn't have a basis, right? He didn't say that you necessarily couldn't have a basis or some bullshit. Like, I don't know where you got that from. It's just like basic, like, what's it called? Modal logic. Like, he just says that you have no basis.
So you don't need to repeat yourself. Yeah, you're muted again. I don't need to hear you say it 14 times, right? So again, we're just gonna say again with the first part of what you said. First of all, you are in the affirmative, right? That's what I've prefaced this. You just repeating your interpretation does not make it more likely. What no means is this idea. Yeah, I have a muting problem because we don't have someone to progress when we literally made this group chat to have someone progress, and then you just didn't have anyone. Because I told you would come in here to be dishonest and lie, which is exactly what you're doing. So again, with what no means not any, not at all, to no extent, right? These all mean that even if you want to index it towards the moment in the debate, which again, I disagree with, I'll put that in question. Why is that likely? You're affirming I lost. I need the argument for that. But again, he's saying that the basis I gave, it's not basis. There is no basis there, right? He's saying, look, you have no basis for your position. And he gave this thing that I'm interpreting as a contradiction. You're like, oh, well, he's just saying it doesn't make sense. And your justification for why this thing then is going to be more so him just saying it doesn't make sense versus a contradiction is the fact that then afterwards, he then asks me for new basis, right? Oh, what's your basis now? I don't think that's something that's exclusive to my position. Now, let's just go back up to your initial argument here that you try to like formalize of saying if Draco gave an argument that didn't display a contradiction, then it's right to assume his intent wasn't a contradiction. P2, Draco gave an argument that didn't display a contradiction. C, it's right to assume his intent wasn't a contradiction. So again, P1 is what's in question. I asked for the argument for P1, and then you proceeded to give me a different argument. So again, give me the argument for P1. So go ahead, do that. Give the formal argument for that. I'll wait for that. Outside of that, you're just going really circular. You're being really dumb. And again, dishonest, which is really embarrassing because ironically, at least he has the balls to admit that what he does is just bias and at least not try to engage in a dishonest fucking conversation. Good.
Bro, am I muted? Dude, I literally explained P1 in the paragraph below, you fucktard. You are actually autistic.
And you're muted again, so let's go back and read it. The way the data is explained is better because my interpretation points only what's said and explains it fully, while Sakazuki's posits more and does also. Can you please write this in like real fucking English? Like, I don't know what class. I know you're like 14. I don't know if you're taking basic English, but again, you're saying that there's more entities posited.
I'm so dead.
In my interpretation. Can you go ahead and explain how there's more entities within my interpretation?
Yeah, you posited there being a contradiction without him outlining there being a contradiction.
Okay, so to be clear, you're positing that he made a reductio saying this doesn't make sense without him saying that it doesn't make sense. So I don't see how there's more entities. Try again.
The argument that I gave wasn't talking about a reductio. So try again.
No. Just to be clear, you said that his intention with this was just to say that my interpretation doesn't make sense. You verbatim said that in this conversation. If you want to clarify now, you can go ahead and say that, right? You said reductio. I actually even clarified and asked you at the beginning, is your actual like disagreement here as to why I lost? Is it just the reductio thing? And you're like, yeah, the reductio wasn't responded to. So again, you can say all of these different things. If you want to clarify now what you think it is, that's fine. But I will say whatever you think it is, I'm saying that you just are taking it to be whatever you're interpreting it is, and that's the same amount of entities as I'm saying. We're just interpreting this X statement that Draco made to be something, right? We're just making that same assumption. I don't see where the extra assumptions are. Please explain that. Go ahead.
Yo, Sakazuki, do you agree that arguments like against yours are used to like disprove your argument and make your argument look dumb?
And you just add that last part.
Or-
I just think that the intention when people give arguments against an argument is to defeat it. Yeah, usually. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's defeating it, right? And what's it called? Your interpretation of him trying to defeat it is him trying to posit a contradiction, but he didn't say a contradiction. So I can just assume that
That begs that. Okay, so I'm
wait,
gonna meet you again.
wait. That doesn't beg the question.
That presupposes what's in question. So again, you're saying that it's not a contradiction.
Like-
I know that's your claim. I need the likelihood increasing argument for why it's not a contradiction. So again, why are there more entities posited in what I said versus what you said? Go ahead.
I meant by didn't give a contradiction that he didn't formally lay out a contradiction. That's what I meant. It wasn't begging the question there. Like that's what I meant.
So wait, just to be clear, you think that someone needs to formally lay it out in the sense of just giving the exact P and not P to try and give a contradiction they can't say in natural language?
To compete with my view, then yeah, you kind of would.
So just to be clear, I'm asking, is it not possible to lay out a contradiction in natural language?
Yeah, but it doesn't compete
It
with
is
my
possible.
view.
All right,
It
cool.
doesn't
All right,
compete with my
cool.
view.
Why doesn't it compete?
Just because like what he said right there wasn't a contradiction, right? And like I can just go back to the argument, which he didn't fucking read for some reason. Like he, like
yeah.
what he
So
said
already,
wasn't a
okay. So
what you said.
Okay,
Wait.
So
let's
again,
be
you
clear,
just went super circular.
Wait, just be clear.
Right?
You
so
agreed.
again,
Wait, you agreed.
what just happened
You
here, just to be
agreed.
very
You
clear for the
agreed. You
recording,
agreed.
is that we started off by looking at his formal argument and we put premise one into question. He said that look, the reason why premise one is justified is via parsimony issues with my interpretation, and there are more entities posited. I asked, why are there more entities posited? And the way in which he tried to reference that and evidence that is by appealing back to the argument in question. So again, I'm going to ask for the argument that does not question beg for his position for why there are more entities within my position. Go ahead, Shikio.
Just to be clear, you agreed that it wasn't a contradiction. You know that, right?
I did not at any point agree that this is not a contradiction. From the beginning, I've posited this idea that this can be a contradiction, and that's the interpretation I'm giving, which I've been asking for the likely interpretation against from you, giving that you're positing I am losing. Right? I'm saying that it wasn't a contradiction in the sense that when it came through, it didn't end up being a contradiction. What's in question is the intention, dummy. Like you haven't been tracking at all whatsoever.
Dude, the argument is completely about the intention. You just don't fucking get it.
Yeah, so again, you just went circular again, right? Obviously, your claim is, look, because it didn't actualize into a contradiction, the intention is likely to not be a contradiction. I said, what is the argument for that? You then laid out this formal argument you presented. Where in premise one, you say, if Draco gave an argument that didn't display a contradiction, then it's right to assume his intent wasn't a contradiction. I asked for the evidence for this thing, and you said, the way the data is explained better is because my interpretation posits only what is said and explains it fully, while Sakazuki's posits more, and because of that, I fail due to parsimony concerns. I then ask you, what are the more entities that I'm positing? What are these entities that are extra? And then you proceed to go extremely circular by appealing back to the initial argument at hand. So again, that doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because what's in question is about the intention. The only thing that I'm positing that's extra, right, is that he posited that this thing is, he's positing this as with the intention of doing this thing, and he failed, right? You're saying that he did it without and didn't fail, right? There's no like discrepancy there. So again, I'm gonna ask you for the argument.
Okay, yeah. So just to be clear, you posited him intending to give a contradiction. We already both agreed that what he tried to give right there was a counter argument to what you fucking said. So if it's a case that you try to say that, oh, this counter argument is in the form of a contradiction, it will be, what's it called, more data, or what's it called, probably more entities than me just saying that, oh, it's a counter argument. I can maybe drop the fact that you can call it, by the way, you can call it a reductio. I'd interpret it as a reductio. You can stop calling it reductio. I can still say that this counter argument like follows through.
Okay, so again, you've now hedged your position. I want to make that very clear for the recording, because you've verbatim said that what he was saying was trying to posit that this thing doesn't make sense, right? And that's why you try to sneak something in, and that's why I corrected you when you try to get me to agree what a counter argument usually is. You added that little part where it's like, oh, you're trying to make it look dumb, right? That part is something I didn't agree to. I have never agreed to it one time. That is what's in question. You verbatim posited that what he's doing is trying to explain how my interpretation doesn't really make sense. Retarded. Right? And I'm saying, look, I don't think that's what he's doing. I think that it can simply just be that he's positing a contradiction, given his verbiage, and I'm asking you for the likelihood increasing argument that it is, in fact, just him trying to make my thing not make sense. And you're like, well, the way I'm going to do that is via this formal argument. I ask you for the evidence for P1. You say it's via parsimony. I ask you, okay, look, how am I positing more entities? And you proceeded to then question bag by appealing back to the argument that's in question. So again, Shikio, what I want you to do is stop hedging the claim, actually justify why I'm failing due to parsimony, and stop just lollygagging and fucking like Jackie C's dick, giving the same argument as him, but just failing miserably at it.
He has been. Look, just to be clear, I didn't hedge. I said that I still think it's reductive, but we don't have to use that term in this debate. All we can say is that it's a counter argument, and you both agree. Wait. Look. Yes, bro. Yes. I did.
Infinity, are you here? Yeah, so Infinity, I have a question.
Oh my God.
We're talking about the term reductio.
Engage.
Right? If someone says that they're using a reductio, not for a contradiction, what would you assume they're using it for?
He's trying to run away. On God, Infinity, he's trying to run away. Do not engage. Well, like, on God, do not.
Absurdity? Yeah, correct, right? It doesn't make sense. It makes less sense, right? And essentially, Shikio here wants to hedge away, saying, we don't need to use the term reductio anymore. We don't need to use it. But look, Shikio, you've already used it. And this is the issue, is that you literally sat here and said it is a reductio, but it's not a contradiction. So the other thing that it would be is absurdity, that it wouldn't make sense. So if that's the case, if it doesn't make sense, then I'm asking for the argument for that. Right? And again, a contradiction is a form of a counter argument. It's attempting to defeat it. It falls under the definition I agreed to. So both of our interpretations fall under what a counter argument is. I'm just talking about what type of counter argument it is. Right? That's the disagreement that we have. You need to actually give an argument without question begging, you dumb fuck. All right? Go ahead.
Dude, what I didn't say is that I don't think it's a reductio anymore. I said that we can drop the term reductio, and my argument can still
so just to be clear, it was a shadow box on your end, because if you're saying it is because if you're saying it, because it is, because if you're saying that you can think that, you low tier fuck. So again, here's the issue.
You lost a Draco, nigga.
So but you're literally getting chokeslammed on it right now.
You are dog
on rec.
You are losing on rack. I'm getting chokeslammed, but you have to mute me every single time you give an argument.
Yeah, because you're
afraid to fucking talk to me like
you're on mute right now. Look how loud you are.
IRL or what?
Look how loud you are.
You are fucking dog shit.
Are we IRL? Are we IRL right now?
You are dog.
Are we IRL now?
You are dog.
Are we IRL right now?
No, we
are.
Are we
IRL right now? Okay, then what was the point of saying that?
Without having to mute them.
I know you think that. Wait, again, because you look at what you're doing right now. That's exactly why.
You are dog shit.
That's exactly why.
Finish what the fuck I have to say without.
Yeah, I know you think that.
Yes, I know.
I let you finish every time.
I think that.
I let you finish every time. Because
the fuck, yo, you are dog ass.
So you're just gonna start packing. So I'm gonna just mute you again.
No, I can't.
Let me know when he's done packing, because this kid joined Hail Clan to be a little extorter, fucking packer, thinking he's cold. He's not cold, right? So again, Infinity. I just want to just question for you. If you were in a debate and somebody says that their response that they're going to give you means that you now have no basis, right? The basis you just gave, you now have zero. You would take that to mean that they're just providing a contradiction to say that you're just thinking it can't be the case, right? It isn't the case, right?
My bad, repeat it.
I was saying that, look, if you gave an interpretation for something, right, and then someone tells you that no, you have no basis for that, it doesn't work, and they give a refutation to it, right? And would you take that to be that they're saying that your thing is contradicted, or that it doesn't work?
I mean, if they're giving a refutation, if they're taking a refutation towards what you said, I would hope it's a contradiction. Yeah.
Yeah, and they say the verbatim word no basis. You would take it to be that, right?
Likely, at least in your opinion. Can I explain the debate to you? Like, dude,
I cannot hear you, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. Yo, Infinity, stop responding.
Is he
to him.
still blazed? Like, that's
Stop
the thing. Like, that's what I'm
responding
saying. Like,
Nigga said
like
blazing.
Infinity, I know you weren't
were
listening
Cuomo.
earlier, but literally, I asked him for the same thing 6 times in a row before I started, like, just local muting him, and he just wouldn't respond, and you just start, like, just add more and more points. It's just horrible. Shiki, I'll unmute you and not mute you again if you agree to 1, turn down your mic, 2, stop fucking packing every 3 seconds, and just in general, just stop being a dumb fuck and just answer the question. Like, it's been one question since like 15 minutes ago, which is just simply, look, what is the likelihood increasing argument for this thing making sense? Let me lay this out for you. You agreed that things are reductio. When we talk about a reductio, it's either an absurd argument or an actual contradiction. You're denying it being a contradiction. So I'm saying, look, that means that you're talking about this thing not making sense. Now, that whole idea is going to be, okay, why is it likely him saying this thing doesn't make sense versus a contradiction?
Dude.
Right? That's what I'm asking you for. And then on top of that, even then, your parsimony argument fails because, as I explained, our agreement as to what a counter argument is, a contradiction falls under. I'm not positing an extra entity that he's doing a counter argument plus a contradiction. I'm saying the contradiction can just be a counter argument in itself. There's no extra entities there. There's nothing else that I'm doing. There's no parsimony concerns. You're just really lost, confused, and I really hope that you actually engage this time.
You know, yo, Sakazuki, am I muted?
Please do not loud me.
I'm not. You know, to say that an argument is a counter argument is a contradiction is just to say that there is no other possible way an argument could be said except for a contradiction. You know that, right? So you be denying that he can even give a reductio. You know, you're retarded.
Okay,
we are wow.
Okay, so wow, I'm gonna mute you again because you just add the retarded part, right? So again, what I'm gonna ask you to do is, if you want me to, unmuted you again, I will let you speak if you give the argument and end it off there, and then let me talk. Right? We came into this thing, we're gonna have a good faith argument. You're the one who came in with your sets on, ready to start blazing, talking hella shit, right? I know no one thinks that. We hear Shikio. I knew you. Shikio, I knew you 2 years ago. Your mic had never sounded like this until you started associating with the fucking Hail sidecom. Stop it. We don't believe you. Okay. Now, we don't believe you. Okay, so just stop with that. Okay. So again, I understand.
Okay? Oh wait, hold on. Let me say that. I'm on OBS. Okay, I just streamed all of my mic settings, so you know that I am not loud micing. So now, can you?
I don't. No. Okay. So I don't care. You can claim that. So again, the whole point. The whole point is that you're saying that what I said by it is a thing, right? I'm saying that it falls under that, right? I'm not saying it is identical, right? That and a contradiction is inherently 1-to-1 a fucking counter argument, right? In the sense that wait, hold on. Okay, I'm giving you clarification. Like you can hear, right?
You can hedge definitely, but you know
it's not a hedge. It's called clarification.
No,
so again,
this
is what we're gonna do, because again, you just don't let me respond. You just interrupt. That's why I local mute you. So again, I'm gonna local mute you and then respond to what you're saying. So what you're saying is, look, you're saying that all defeaters or counter arguments are gonna be a contradiction. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that all contradictions towards X, right, would be a defeater or a counter argument to X if successful. Right? It. So I'm saying that this thing would fall under what a counter argument is, right? But it is not inherently what all counter arguments are, right? So that's the clarification that you need there. It's not a hedge. It's just you not being able to understand, you looking for any way to jump out of the conversation and try to save yourself from this ass beating you're getting. So again, I'm going to ask you for the argument. Stop running away. Give the argument as to why there's more entities. Go ahead.
Okay, look, I just want to address your point real quick. No one denies that, if you give a contradiction to an argument, that it defeats an argument. That's what you reiterated your point to, and that just isn't relevant at all. Everybody grants.
You didn't track. Okay.
Oh well, nice. On God you said that. On God you said that. I typed it as you
said. No. I said you didn't. I said you didn't track in the sense that if you think that me saying that isn't a response, then you didn't track.
Do you think I'm denying that if you give a contradiction to an argument, it defeats an argument? Do you think I deny it?
Okay, go. Okay, right now what I want you to do. Yes or no to the question. Apparently didn't. No, I already told you I'm not doing your. You're muted again. Again, you're not getting yes or no's to any of your questions. That's not how this works, right? You have no authority over me. You are a nobody. So again, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to go ahead and restate what you think is the extra fucking entity that's posited, right? Because what you said initially, and again, this is all on recording, what you said initially was the extra entity was the fact that I am saying it's a contradiction, right? Along with the fact that it's a counter argument. right? That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that a contradiction, inherently, every contradiction is to X is, in fact, a fucking counter argument. So I'm not positing some new entity, right? You are saying that, oh, well, the less entities I'm making is because I'm just saying it could be any counter argument. That's what I called out as a hedge. You've already said verbatim, your interpretation is that this thing makes sense, right? It's idea of an absurdum. You're saying it's a reductio absurdum. That's what you're saying, right? So the point is that I'm saying, look, that's the same amount of entities. You're positing that one, I'm positing this one. That's all there is to it. Your position is not more likely. It's not positing less entities. So please stop question begging and going circular. I need the actual argument, Shikio.
Okay,
go ahead. And please, I want to leave you unmuted, genuinely. But every time you ask me a question, I start responding like, "Oh my god, you're a retard. You're not tracking. You're an idiot." Like, I need you to actually just fucking speak normally, and I'll just leave you unmuted gladly.
Okay, yo, Sakazuki. Look, what you said is that, every single contradiction is a counter argument, so there's no distinction with you saying a contradiction and a counter argument. It's just one claim. Look, I can explain parts.
That's not what I said.
Oh, no, that is what
That's not what I said.
You said that there's almost
okay, so I'm muting you again. So again, what I said is not that. I verbatim just explained to you how there's counter arguments. The entity I'm positing is that it is a contradiction. Your entity you're positing, that you're affirming, that you started this whole thing affirming, is that it's a counter argument via saying that this thing makes more sense. His interpretation makes more sense, right? Those are the entities there. Those are equal.
Nigga.
You are not just saying that, oh, it could be any other counter argument. You are in the affirmative saying that it's one that makes sense. Again, you are affirming that I lost, Shikio. So again, I need the argument. Please track. You're muted because you just literally started talking and misrepresented everything I said. God. I told you that, yes, I believe that every contradiction, right, is a counter argument. I'm not saying that is why I'm positing less entities. I'm saying the reason, I'm not even saying I'm positing less entities. I think we're positing the same amount of entities right now because you are saying that, look, it's a counter argument in the sense of saying that his thing makes more sense. And then I'm saying it's a counter argument in the sense of it being a contradiction. Those are the two things there. And again, both of those things are external to the definition of counter argument I agreed to. Because then you tried sneaking it in, right? You tried, but I already called it out and said, no, don't agree to the whole dumb part. I agree that's one that's attempting to defeat it. Right now, the way in which it's going about defeating it is where we disagree. And you being on the affirmative, I need the argument as to why he's likely doing this via this making sense thing versus the contradiction thing. Again, please attack this.
Okay, so Sakazuki, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack the other point that you made like 2 points ago because you just refused to let me talk. All right, so when you said that, every single contradiction is a counter argument because, you can just say that you can combine the contradiction and counter argument for them to be the same entity. I'm just going to explain parsimony to you real quick. Yeah, you
I didn't say that. Okay, so I'm going to mute you again. What? So again, I don't need you to explain this to me because it's not my argument. And if that's the argument I made, and that's what you think I made, I'll take it back right now. The argument I made is literally just the one that I just told you. That we're pausing the same amount of entities. We're starting with the counter argument. You're saying the way in which he did this is through the making sense thing. I'm saying the contradiction thing. Where is the extra entity? Answer the question.
The extra entity is that you're positing it being contradiction. I'm just positing it being a counter argument.
Yeah, that's a hedge. So I've already explained why it's a hedge. I explained why that doesn't actually follow to your position.
It's not.
I
can just define.
I already.
Can I just go? Can I go, please? Yeah.
No. I'm saying we can just stop here. We can stop here. We already addressed this.
I can just say no.
I'll just mute you. We can be done. Yeah, we can be done.
This guy.
We can be done. We can be done. I already addressed this.
Concede. Do it.
I already addressed this. I don't need to concede. I already won.
Do it.
I have you unmuted, dummy.
No, leave. You don't need to leave VC. Yo, leave VC. It's okay. Like
I don't need to leave VC.
Yo,
I'll stay in VC. I already beat you.
You clearly refuse to engage. Leave the fucking VC.
I don't need him. I'm not dog shit. Everyone in your group thinks I'm better than you. Other than C,
yo, leave
Gyro,
the
and Vortex.
VC.
You lost to me just now.
No, I did. Yo, leave the VC. You are actually dog shit.
Do you think more than 50% of your syndicate will say you won?
Yes, I think everybody will say I won. I'm going to send them my version of recording because obviously nobody's muted in that because I can actually handle, talking with somebody else. And yeah, we can evaluate what happened here. Look, you
Yeah, again, wait, so just to be clear, so just to be clear, again, just to be clear, the recording you have is going to be one where you're talking when I can't hear you, so it's going to be refutations and stuff that I'm just not responding to that don't matter. So just to be clear, for the recording, anything he said while I had him local muted, I'm just didn't hear it.
Whoa.
So
why should I have to account for the fact that you can't hear me, nigga? Again, you did that to yourself.
No. Again, you can think that, but again, anything he said, again, you can think that. So again, just to be clear, for the recording, and you're still notice how you're just not letting me speak still.
Okay, go.
Oh, okay. So the point is, I'm gonna just break this down. He can try and give a response, and I'm not gonna mute him unless he just starts insulting me or loud miking again. So the whole point is that one, he started off this whole thing, made it very clear that what he was saying was that there wasn't an address to the reductio. He then denies that this is a contradiction. He says that no, it's verbatim, that it's just him saying that this thing makes more sense. That's the way it came off to Shikio. And I was like, look, okay, that's fine if it came off to you that way, but you're affirming that I lost. So I need the likelihood increasing argument as to why he's saying that this thing makes sense versus why this thing is a contradiction. He then decides to send this. Oh, okay, wait, are you gonna, like, again, I just said I'll literally let you fully talk. I promise, as long as you don't insult me, I will not. I already said it.
I'll say it again.
I just said it. I'm not. Who do you think you are? I'm not doing that. So, like, I don't like. Again, this kid is just very, very like. This in itself just shows why I've been muting him. Just by the way, but outside of that, he then presents this formal argument because he gave a very non sequitur argument. He tries to give it again, and just to be here, I just want to ask for the actual fucking inference rule for this argument. Don't even know if this follows, but even outside of that, for P1. Yeah, okay. For P1, right? I put this into question. He's like, okay, well, obviously the reason for this is going to be some parsimony concern. You're positing more entities. I'm like, okay, well, what are the more entities here? And he's like, okay, well, you're saying that, okay, look, he's trying to give a counter argument, right? And what we agreed a counter argument is just simply something trying to defeat the interpretation, right? Trying to defeat the claim made by the other person. And that's fine. Now, what he was trying to make likely was the idea that it's him saying that this thing is making sense, right? Versus a contradiction. So he's positing that this thing makes sense versus this thing is a contradiction, right? Both of these things are counter arguments. Now the point is, I don't see where the extra entity is. And the point is that what he's saying now, or has been trying to say for the last 10 minutes, is that he's saying that, oh, well, I'm just saying it could be any counter argument. Not just that it makes sense, it could be any counter argument. Well, the point is that saying that it could be any of these possibilities regardless, all posit the same amount of entities. It all posits it's a counter argument, and then it was some type of random X counter argument. They all posit that same one entity, regardless. But even then, that's a hedge, and that's the biggest thing I want to say here. So none of this really matters, because his claim was that it's likely him trying to say this thing makes more sense versus a contradiction. Both of those things posit an extra entity. And again, him trying to initially include this making sense, trying to make this thing look dumb as part of his definition. I already called that out. I didn't agree to that definition. So, yeah, it's just same amount of entities. His argument doesn't really go through. And again, I hope Shikio can actually respond here without being uncordial, without yelling, without insulting, without doing this obnoxious fake laugh in the microphone. I hope he can actually engage, because I thought that's what we're going to do here, but obviously that's not the intentions he had. So go ahead.
Okay, let me just start off by saying that the reason why I just said we can drop the whole reductio point is just because he didn't get the actual argument. And, you know, like, we don't have to drop it. I can just keep on beating you up on the actual argument. So we can be like, remember when Draco asks, oh, how is Kizaru holding back? Do you agree that whenever somebody asks a question, typically they're asking a question because they're confused on the topic?
Confused? I don't know about confused. They're probably trying to inquire for more knowledge, sure.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what the relevant distinction is. Hold on, let me see the definition of confused.
I mean, confused, just like, I mean, like, again, like, I don't know, like, how relevant that is to your, like,
it is
argument you're trying to make. I mean, okay, I don't know about confused. I just think they're trying to inquire knowledge.
Inquire
knowledge,
more.
Yeah. That's the way I'd look at it.
Let me see what inquire means before I go.
Inquire just means like get, like well, you're trying to like look for more.
Like what I see on Google is like look into, like you're trying to look into it.
Yeah, look into, like you're trying to look for more. Yeah.
So you think that people typically ask questions because they're trying to look into like what the contents of the question is?
No, it's like, for example, I guess like better explain via an example. It's like if I were to ask you, like, I don't know, like about let's say the NBA, and I'm like, oh, like let's say you're a statistician about the NBA. I'm like, oh, like what is Luka Doncic's stats for his rebounds? Like I'm just interested in it, right? So it's not about necessarily confusion. The way I see it is more so, oh, I just want to know this thing, right? I want to look into it, gain more knowledge about this thing, so I'm just asking about it. That's the way I look at it.
Well, okay, what if I can ask you a more specific type of question? If somebody asks, if X and how, then, okay, I can be like, oh, if X and how Y. What do you think they're trying to achieve there? Like, why do you think they're asking that question?
Like, if X, then how Y. I mean, like, I'd prefer if you just put this in the terms of the debate, so I can, like, more so understand what you're trying to say there. I mean,
no, I like it to be simpliciter, just so it. Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna answer that question. Then. I prefer you.
Yeah, you can dodge the question. Okay, look.
It's not about dodging the question. Again, you're trying to do this rhetoric thing.
You can do it. Like,
again, you're doing the fake laugh again. Again, I'm gonna ask you. You're doing the fake laugh again. We both know you don't find this funny. I don't think Eos actually enjoy this conversation. If you think this is hilarious, you're really immature. I mean, giving you 15, so maybe you. I don't know, whatever. Oh, damn. Okay, but either way, it's super immature. If you really think this is super funny, but either way, the whole point is that. I'd rather you just put it in terms of debate, so we can just get to the actual like substance of what we're talking about. So can you just do that?
No,
like, I'll answer then.
No, I'm not.
Okay, if you're not going to do that, then I'm not.
No, I'm not going to question back for you. Yo, can you just answer the question? Look,
I'm not answering. I'm not. Again, I said this from the beginning. I'm not answering any of your random ass leading questions that you try to do that you think is rhetorical. I'm not doing that. Again, if you want me to answer something, put it in context of the debate. Right, and then I'll answer. If not, look, I just don't care to.
Okay, look, yo, Sakazuki, when somebody, okay, I'm not gonna ask you yes or no question here, all right? I'm just gonna go to your terms, but I'm not gonna put it inside the debate terms. Okay, so when somebody asks like if X and how Y, what do you think they're trying to achieve there?
You just asked me the same fucking thing.
No, I'm
not answering the question.
Look, if you don't want to answer the question, like it's fine. We can send the recording here.
Again, I'm not going to end my recording. I'll just take this as a concession on your end because, again, I'm trying to actually talk about the debate at hand. You are just upset that you can't just set up something that you're not trying to be clear about because you want to try and set something up. I'm not going to do that. So, again, put it in context of the debate or explain the relevance. You can do that. And again, doing these rhetorical jabs is not actually, like, no one actually finds this entertaining other than Gyro and Vortex. Everyone else is going to laugh at you, think it's, like, just corny. So I'm just going to ask you, again, can you just put it in context of the debate, or at least explain the relevance to the debate, right? And then I'll answer your question, right, if I see that there's actually relevance there or correlation to the debate.
Look, can you just, like, why? Okay, hold on. Okay, it's relevant to the debate. How can I put this without just, like, giving away the whole argument?
Like, do you notice how you have to, like, hide your argument? Like, again, you that unconfident in the fact that your argument works?
The only reason why I have to do this is just because you have a lot of, like, psychological, like, fucking... nigga, like dissonance, nigga. That's what the word is. You have like. Do you understand
that the video that we're talking about, you guys re-uploaded with the biased thumbnail, a biased title, and you've been proceeded to get ratioed in the comments 45-4.
I don't know who you is. I didn't even know that shit was gonna be uploaded.
You're a group. No. And we can throw you and C in there because you guys didn't comment. So 45-6. So again, you can say that it's cognitive dissonance for me to believe that I won this debate, right? Or me to hold this position. But again, the vast majority of people, right? Even the guy that you added this group chat, your own friend Infinity, he thinks I won. Like literally, just the majority of people in the debate, they do. I can get the DMs from him.
Yeah, sure, fam. But either way, look.
What do you mean, sure? Like again, like you do this thing where you think everyone schizoing out.
Look. We don't have to address like other people. We can just stay on topic. Look, are you gonna answer
give me the relevance correlation? Give the relevance or correlation. Are you gonna give the relevance to the debate or the actual topic at hand?
In response to my question, like I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Like maybe if
you what's the relevance?
Maybe if you answer the question,
what's the relevance?
Ask for the
No. I'll ask for the relevance. If there is no relevance, I just don't have any motivation to answer the question.
Are you
if there's no relevance to our topic?
Wait, are you assuming that there's no relevance just because I haven't displayed the relevance yet?
I'm not saying that there is no relevance. I'm just agnostic to it. So I just don't really know, and I'm not really gonna make any comment on it until I have motivation to believe it does.
Look, you know what else you haven't made a comment on? The answer to the question. So can you please just answer the question?
Was that rhetorical? Like, come on, you want claps?
Yeah, I do want claps.
All right, okay. I'm happy for you. You're a good guy, Shiki. W.
Look, are you ever gonna answer the question? Like,
are you gonna explain the relevance?
Look. In the context of the debate, typically, I'm pretty sure everybody can interpret whenever, Draco asks, hold on, let me get the exact quote. How is Kizaru holding back then? Then he's obviously confused that, if he's getting slammed into the base, then how is Kizaru holding back? So now, I want you to answer the question on if somebody asks if X, then how Y, What do you think they're trying to achieve there?
I disagree with.
Do you disagree with the question? Yeah. Answer it, nigga.
No. So again, I disagree with what you're framing what he said as. So again, we can actually go. What's the time? So what's the timestamp?
Oh, I gotta find it. But like, dude, like, I don't know how you disagree with this. Like, dude, you're doing everything but answering the question, and it's a bit insane. Like, you've dodged every single question.
Yeah, because we actually, yeah. So again, like, do you notice how you add in like this random rhetorical stuff? Since I told you I'm not gonna mute you again, I haven't done it one time. Right? Like, I don't know why you can't act mature for 2 seconds. Like, just do it for 2 seconds. You're doing the fake laugh again.
For like 30 minutes.
Yes, I muted you because you were acting exactly like this before that as well. Like, you came into this VC just on some weird shit. Like from the start.
I wasn't.
Okay, so you can say boot. So you were. It's all on recording from the start.
Yeah, we can play 100%. Like, later. By the way, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
If you really need the timestamp, he just asked, "Oh, how is Kizaru holding back?" Do you think he didn't ask that question or what?
No, I agree that how is Kizaru holding back? That was the part I played. You saying that it was based within the initial thing he said, the question part. That I just don't know if that's exactly what he was doing.
So you grant that he did ask, how was Kizaru holding back then, or Kizaru? He did ask that, right?
He's holding back then, yeah. But then we've already talked about that, which is what I wanted to bring up.
Okay,
so don't interrupt. You're muted again.
No, what?
Okay.
This is in the middle of my argument.
That's the issue here. Is I'm trying to talk. I've been cordial with him the entire time, and again, he tries to overtalk me, and I know that he's probably trying to slip in stuff, all of this stuff.
What
right?
the fuck?
So the whole point is, no, it's not the middle of your arg. You're trying to press a question that I have an issue with in the question itself. I think it's loaded, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and explain.
Let's get my charger. Okay, I think it's good now. All right. Yeah. Okay, you can repeat the whatever you said just then.
Yeah, no, I stopped talking. So, okay. So what I was saying is that we actually went over this earlier, which is what I was trying to say, is that this was actually part of the part that when I screen shared we played was him saying that, oh yeah, no, like, how is Kizaru holding back then? So I already explained how that's actually consistent under my interpretation, because what I'm saying I believe then is indexed towards is him saying that, look, what you're saying is contradicted, right, or defeated via what he was positing was contradicted, whereas you're saying that, oh, then is just saying, oh, yours doesn't make much sense, what is the thing then, right? So both of us are explained by this then that he's adding in there in that question, and for me, I just don't think that it increases the likelihood for what you're saying, because I don't know if it's actually just tied to this idea of it making sense, because I'm questioning that in the first place.
Look, Sakazuki, none of that answers my questions. Okay, so the question was originally, do you think that when people typically ask, oh, if then how, why, do you think that, they're typically like confused as to how that happens, or like they're almost in astonishment? Like, what's your thought process on that?
It depends what the initial X is.
I said typically.
Yeah, it depends what the X is.
Yo, so dumbass, I agree, but typically.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, I mean, look, I think that, typically,
I need empirics for it. Whatever typically you're going to make, I need empirics for it.
Huh?
I need empirics for it. Whatever typically you're going to use, I need empirics for it.
No, I'm just like basing off my anecdote. You don't have anything else.
I don't care
to the
anecdote.
To the question, you said,
so you're going to get muted again. Yeah, so again,
said, I don't know. So me giving an anecdote would actually help my argument.
The reason I'm agnostic or I don't know is because in my sort of past, my priors that I have, right, the priors that I have are just variable. It just depends on what that X is what I'm saying. So you saying that, oh, you have anecdotes where it's typically one thing, right? I don't really care for that. I need empirics, something that can actually show me this to motivate me to believe this thing, right? That's what we need here. I don't need you to intuition pump your verdict, because again, I told you at the beginning of this, if it's just an intuition disagreement where you're just gonna just sit there and pump your intuitions, given your extremely biased behaviors in the past, I don't care for it. Most people don't care for it. Most people already discredit your entire syndicate's opinions about me. So again, I don't care about your intuitions. I need empirics for this thing. If not, we can move to a different point.
Look, you know that like anecdotes are a form of empirics, right? So now I can continue my argument. Look, I
So
don't
again,
disagree.
your anecdotes, that's fine. I decided that my
bro,
priors
bro,
say
bro.
otherwise, right? My priors say that it just depends on what that X is.
Wait, I don't disagree
right?
with that.
If that X, right, in times is something that's a contradiction, like I'm saying, right, they're just asking for new things. They're asking for new things.
Yo, so
if that X, right, were to be, you know, let's say what you're saying, that, oh, this just makes less sense, they may be asking for more motivation to believe this thing is likely. That was already posited. Right? So it just sort of depends what that X looks like, and it sort of goes back to the initial thing in question here, which is, what is that X? And I'm asking you, okay, is that X likely this thing that it's making sense versus a contradiction? So that's what I'm saying. I don't care about your anecdotes, because I can just say I have my priors as well, and just go against each other. We don't really get anywhere. Again, you're this, and I think it would be much more progressive for our conversation if you were to just actually give the empirics, right? Or we can move on to another point. Because we're just saying that our intuitions go against one another.
Okay, look, Sakazuki, look. Do you think that your prior?
Can you say my real? I've called you. Okay, before we get back into that, can you like call me by my name? Okay, right?
Sakazuki, bro.
Or like I don't know, like why you're being a cornball. Like again,
dude,
I'm trying to be normal with you, right? Because then that's why I haven't banned you from Totsuki, whereas I ban people like Flames. I'm trying to be cool with you outside this debate shit. But again, you have to show respect when we talk. Like, again, you've come into this VC being odd from start to finish. I'm asking you to act normal. Like, I know you hang around with weirdos. So, just while you're with me, like, forget about the weirdo stuff. Forget about the extorting. Forget about the doxing. Act like a normal human being. All right?
Okay.
I'm not. Okay. You're in Hale, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
yeah.
Cool.
That's a packing clan. But
yeah, we believe you. Everyone believes you. Even your own friends believe you.
Literally a.
Your own friends believe you. I promise you. Your own friends believe you.
Okay. I don't really care what they believe. Like, I'm telling you what it is.
Okay. Okay. So you don't believe your own. Who do you believe? You only yourself?
I'd believe the person that's a part of the group. Like, anyways, look.
Yeah, of course. You would want to be not guilty of anything.
I was like mid my argument, right? So I'm gonna ask you a question. Look, do your priors point towards you just typically, it just depending on what the situation is, on if X and how Y, how people ask that? Is that all your priors like tell you? I guess.
So my priors are telling me
that.
That's
a question, bro.
No, it's not. That's not how I answer questions. I've already made that very clear to you. So again, when someone says, okay, if we have X, then they ask, like, then what about Y? Like, whatever, they ask this question. The whole point is that for me, right, whenever I've had that sort of interaction with people, for them, it depends how they've interpreted X, how they've seen X, right? And as I just explained and laid out to you, right, if X were to be a contradiction in this case, if X were to be a contradiction, you think, oh, well, you know, I'm just saying they don't have anything. The thing they just said doesn't work. When I say, oh, then what's the argument then? I'm taking that as, okay, what's the new thing, right? Whereas if it's what you're saying, where it's making sense, then they may just be asking for more motivation for the same, right? Look, so for me, it just depends on the context there. So again, I don't care what you asked for. That's how I decided to respond. Yeah, so I need you to actually respond.
Fucking ramble, but I didn't fucking ask for that.
Like, why are you so upset? Why are you upset?
Because you keep on talking, nigga. Like, damn, bitch, shut up.
What are you like, so angry? Like, bro, you're 16. Nigga, there's no way you have that much stress. You're 16. Nigga, you don't have that much stress. Like, you don't have that much stress, nigga. Dude, because look how you're acting. Why wouldn't I mute you? Look at how you're acting.
I let you talk and ramble. Like, you're crazy.
Look. You're literally stimming the fuck. You're stimming the fuck out about a debate that you're not even in.
Yo, calm down. Just calm down.
I need to calm down.
Yo, yes, calm down.
Yeah, nice. You're a troll, bro. You're a troll, bro. You're a troll, bro. This guy's actually a troll.
Okay, look, just calm down. So what I got from the ramble, yeah. So what I got from the ramble was just that, yeah, it depends. I don't disagree with any of that. We can conclude. I think this debate is over.
Wait. Just to be clear, so just to make sure, you're not going to provide the empirics. Your only claim you're going to make is that you have anecdotes, right, that you haven't presented, that you believe show that. You haven't even said what do you think it typically means. Like, what are you affirming there?
I take it to be that the types of anecdotes that I give are empirical evidence, and then I take if X and how Y to usually mean or typically mean that, oh, you know, the person is confused on how these two are true in conjunction with each other. And that doesn't mean that, oh, like they're contradicting or something. It just means that, oh, you can't like visualize it, or it just sounds.
Oh wait, I see where the disconnect is. Oh, okay. Two things. One, I'm not even sure about like the whole like your anecdotes being like empirics, especially when it's something you're arguing for, because there can be some like internal bias there and all of that. But we can hold that. You can answer that in your next response if you want. If not, we can sort of leave that. But the thing that I think the disconnect there is that you're saying that, okay, so just to put this in terms of the debate, you're saying that X, just to be clear, is going to be the thing he asked, right? Like what we're saying is either a contradiction or makes sense, right?
My bad. I was typing. I just wanted to clarify. It's just like contingent.
We can get. Okay, I'm dismissing that until we get to your next response. You can say in your next response. Dismiss. I'm asking you. I'm asking you about what's it called when you're talking about X, right? In your like example question, what you mean by that in relation to the Draco debate is the question he was asking in the sense of what we're saying is either he was laying out a contradiction or laying out like you're saying it's him saying it makes more sense. Which like is that what you're saying X is in this case?
X is I can just like say it out loud. X is if Kizaru was holding back, and then Y would just be then how is it the case that he let himself get kicked into the thing that he's trying to protect? Like that's like X and Y there. Look, and I didn't want you to answer it like in terms of the debate because it's too it's too reduced. What I wanted you to answer it like
wait, we've had that. No, I want more clarification because like I just realized that we were talking about two different things. Like I thought you were referring to something completely else in the debate. Okay,
how was Kizaru holding back then? That's what I was referring to.
That how was Kizaru holding back then was after he already gave the whole like kicked into the thing. That the kicked into the thing came before the then.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
How
well, I already question.
Wait, no. Like,
okay.
No, because like the question that he asked, like verbatim. I'm just writing what he said verbatim. The question that he asked is like he kind of flipped them around in chronology. How was Kizaru holding back if it's the case that he got kicked into the base? That's kind of how he phrased. That's kind of how he phrased it. Oh, that's kind of how he implied it.
Oh wait, no, and that's the only where he said like he let himself get kicked in the base. The let part is that the one you're referring to? Because I remember that.
After that, he says he asked for that basis that I was talking about. The one that.
Wait, hold on. Let me just screen share. Let's just like look at it so we get the actual thing, like just verbatim, so we're not like. Hold on. I think it's like here. All right, I'll play it from here. Are you on the stream?
Yeah, I'm on him.
All right.
For one, there is no basis that Kizaru is actually trying to stop from destroying the place. If you think Marco actually kicked him into the base.
I think that's fine. He can get kicked in the base, sure.
So he's trying to stop the base from getting destroyed, but lets people kick him into it?
I don't necessarily think he let him.
Okay, so how is he holding back then?
Yeah, that's
okay. So I'm gonna I just explain. Okay,
that's that. What's it called?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, by then I'm just assuming he's like, oh, he's saying then, implying that, oh, how is he's already holding back, you know, if all else that he just said was true, you know. If he wasn't holding back, I mean, if he wasn't trying to destroy Marineford or whatever, that's what he probably means.
Well, yeah, but that's where our disagreement is, right? You're saying that, okay, well, he's saying that initial part, right, of like them holding back to not destroy it. We both agree that he thinks he defeated this. You're saying he thinks he defeated it by like reducing it to just not making sense. It makes less sense. I'm saying that it's by this contradiction, right? So both of our interpretations are included under that. All I'm saying is that that's why I have reason. I still have reason to believe that doesn't defeat the idea that I still think this can just be a contradiction that he's trying to present. So I guess like, can you just like be more clear as to what you're saying, how this provides the credence towards? Because again, this where we came from is you saying that I'm positing more entities, and we got to here. So if you can just bridge that gap real quick.
Hold on. Let me scroll back up to my argument to make sure I said that right.
Yeah, for sure.
While pauses more than also to explain it fully. I'm pretty sure I said that right.
Bro, we've made this shit go on so long that nobody watching this shit, bro.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. But like the issue is that look, like the reason why I'm saying that yours just posits more entities is just because I think right there, this is where I'm getting the implication from. I think him like consistently asking that question of, oh, how is that the case then if this is true? Oh, how is that the case then if this is true? I'm pretty sure that we can all agree, like, you can baseline say it doesn't make sense. Like, contradictions don't make sense either, but that's like further level into not making sense, right? Like, I can just say that, oh, it just doesn't make sense, and then you can say, oh, it's a whole contradiction. I'm like, oh, wait, that's like assuming more than what's implied.
I just don't know about, like, I just don't, like, I just think that at that point it goes back to the intuition thing we initially said, right? Where it's like, at that point, it's not about it positing more entities. It's just more so like, what do you think is more likely based off of, like, maybe his tone or whatever like that. And obviously we interpret that in different ways. I'm saying that, look, him saying that, then him constantly saying, oh, then right, what's the argument from holding back? Then is just saying, look, what you initially said is contradicted, right? Like, I don't think that now there's any other argument there. So with that whole idea, I mean, I feel like it's coming down to an intuition thing, at least from what you said. It's like you're saying that you think that a contradiction is pushing a little bit further than it making more sense. But the way I see it, just two different types of arguments. I don't think that one being, like, quote unquote, making it more, like, I guess, more absurd is what you're saying, is something that really matters. Just they're both a type of way to defeat an argument. It's just which one was he trying to do, and then that's sort of where we got. And then you were trying to explain to me that, oh, there's more entities, and then right now, like, I'm still asking, like, what that entity is.
Yeah, I'm just saying that well, this, like, gets to the next part of my argument. I'm saying that my interpretation has more credence than yours, because he said that there was some possibility in which he could provide a basis, in which he asked you to provide a basis. And that just grants that, oh, there isn't a contradiction in, let me see, like, what exactly, there isn't a contradiction in the quote-unquote reductio. I'm not, like, assuming the reductio, but, like, I'm just putting it in my language so you know what I'm talking about. So there isn't a contradiction on the quote-unquote reductio, so, because he granted that there can be a basis for that. So that just means that, oh, he wasn't trying to imply it being a contradiction.
Well, and that's granting a basis for what? Wait, just to be clear, granting a basis that it's possible for what?
He's granting a basis that there is possible that Kizaru is actually holding back upon agreement that Kizaru was kicked into the base by Marco.
Well, again, yeah, because there can be some reason external to them trying to, like, not destroy Marineford for them holding back, right? So yeah, sure, there's other possibilities there. I don't think that really. What?
That's a concession then.
How's that a concession?
Well, what's it called? Like then
what do you think my argument is?
Wait, hold on. If you no, I know.
Wait, what do you think I'm saying is contradicted? What do you think I'm saying he contradicted?
Look.
Oh my God! Answer the wait. No, you're about, because I know what you're about to say.
Can I just explain?
Can I just explain? Again? I need just answer this question, then you can explain. Sure. Do you think what I'm saying is contradicted? Do you think I'm saying that he's contradicting them holding back at all?
No.
Or that, okay, you think I'm saying he
intends to make a contradiction? Yeah. But, like, if you agree,
wait, what? Wait. Okay, no, answer that. You did not even. Okay, I'm trying to get clarification on what you're saying. Do you think, or the clarification on what you think I'm saying, I guess, is, do you think I'm saying that what's contradicted is going to be what is the actual idea of them holding back in general, or holding back in the sense of because they were not trying to destroy Marineford? Do you think he was giving a contradiction of them trying to destroy Marineford or not, or a contradiction of them holding back in general? What do you think I'm saying?
He's trying to give, well, what Draco's trying to give a contradiction is in him, like, holding back, like, not him trying to destroy Marineford.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying. That's why it's not that's not what I'm saying.
But the concession doesn't lie there. I'm just saying that, okay.
Okay, so I'm just making that clear. I'm not saying that. Just to be clear. I'm talking about just specifically he's trying to contradict. When I'm saying what he's trying to contradict something, what he's trying to contradict is this idea that he believes that they're actually holding back or not. Not holding back or not. Sorry, actually trying to destroy Marineford or not. Sorry.
I think there's somewhere a concession just because you agree along with me that he's saying that there could possibly be a basis. So we have two people that can both vouch that. He's saying that there could possibly be one. You know, if there can possibly be a basis, then there couldn't exist a contradiction, and yeah, we both just agreed to that. Then yeah, the argument would
wait, no. What do you think? Okay, so what you just told me, again, was that what you said that he's granting a possibility for is he's granting a possibility, right, for the idea that they can be holding back, right, in general, which I'm saying there are other explanations for that. Again, I have the recording
that he is holding back upon agreement that Kizaru was kicked into the base by Marco. I'm reading something verbatim right now.
Yeah, again, kicked into the. That's what we can play it back right now, right here. This is what we just listened to.
Kizaru is actually trying to stop from destroying.
Are you in my recording? Screen share. Oh, okay.
Place. If you think Marco actually kicked him into the base.
I think that's fine. He can get kicked in the base, sure.
So he's trying to stop the base from getting destroyed, but lets people kick him into it?
I don't necessarily think he let him.
Okay, so how is he holding back then?
Okay, so I'm going to explain. How is he holding back then? Like, again, He's just asking how's he holding back. Then what I'm putting into question is whether he's actually putting that in relation, right, to, okay, is it about a possibility of him holding back, right, in the sense of holding back because of the like trying to destroy the base or not. That's what's in question here.
No, but what she just granted, like the issue is that what she just granted is that that he did say that there could possibly be a basis. Like
no, what I granted, okay, no, that's what I was trying to, again, okay, that's why I instantly, like, remember I was literally just like telling you, hold up, let me get this, again, you can think it's a hedge, it's you not understanding, again, you're doing the fake laugh. The whole point is that's why I instantly told you, yo, I want to say this real quick because I think you're confused on what my position was, and I asked you that question for clarification, and I told you and you agreed that what I'm saying is that what I think is getting contradicted, or he's trying to contradict, right? He didn't actually end up doing it. What he was trying to contradict was the idea that they're holding back via the idea of not trying to destroy Marineford, not the idea that they're holding back generally speaking, right? Obviously, if he's trying to contradict that they're holding back generally speaking, and then also proceeds to then grant that there's a possibility that they're still holding back, that's pretty fucking retarded. But that's not what I agreed to. What I agreed to is that what he's trying to contradict is not the general idea of holding back, but rather the idea that he's holding back via this thing. And what I'm saying is that he's asking, oh yeah, no, then what's the argument from holding back then? And that's the whole thing I explained earlier. So even if you want to try and say maybe I misspoke, you can, again, don't interrupt me. The whole point is that I've literally said, this is backed up by what I've said for the last 30 minutes of this conversation, is that what I've said is that the then part of what he's saying is just indexed towards him asking for a new motivation to believe that they're holding back. So again, at no point have I been saying that his contradiction is actually positive holding back entirely, but rather the idea of them holding back via this idea of them saying, like, look, they're actually trying to hold back from destroying the Marineford.
Yeah. Like the then specifically right there isn't entirely relevant because I'm reading a different section of my notes right now. Like, you know, the then part happened before what I just mentioned, him asking for a basis. And like, I really don't know
where in the recording.
In response, it's a bit later. It's like probably a couple seconds later. Like, I'm not too sure what in response you just gave that addressed the fact that now we have two vouchers that both agreed that you know.
I didn't vouch again. What you think I'm vouching for, right? If that is what you're actually saying, is that I'm vouching that he grants there's a possibility that they're holding back in general. That's not a response. I'm making that very clear to you.
Said in general,
okay, so if you think that I'm saying that I grant that there's a possibility that he's granting that there's a possibility that people are holding back, specific to this idea of like them trying to destroy Marineford or not, right? Yeah, that's fine. You can think that. I didn't say that. That's not what I've said. And I've been very clear about that.
I can pull back the recording.
You can. I'm not gonna end it right here because again I want to play because you're making a claim about something in the rec, and I want to see what's in the rec.
You deny that happened? Like, we already went over this.
I deny about what? It's like, not over. You guys low diffed. Your own friends are gonna tell you that. You want to bet?
I'm pretty sure it's like overcut. Like, it's like over. Like, it's bad. Like,
you're just being corn. So I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna play the rec for the recording because again, you're just gonna be uncordial. So again, we're just gonna have to play it for the recording. I just explained. Okay, so you're defeater to why he wouldn't be trying to destroy the base. Why he's trying to not destroy.
I'm just asking you to demonstrate that he's actually holding back to prevent destroying the base in the first place, for one, and then for two, pointing out this example to show why that would be at odds with things he's doing within the model.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain. Okay. You okay, so yeah, again, nowhere in there am I seeing where he's quote unquote granting a possibility. All I see him asking for is more motivation again for my position. And again, as I've explained since the beginning of the rec, at no point is that exclusive to my interpretation. All that I'm saying is that the initial things being stated can be interpreted as a contradiction. And because of that, you being on the affirmative, you need to give the likelihood increasing argument. Again, you went very circular on that. And as for here, again, you're trying to say that I've granted that there's some idea of Draco acknowledging a possibility that, these people can, still be not trying to destroy the base. I'm still looking for that. Don't know where that is. And regardless, there's another thing I want to get into about why you think I lost, but yeah,
Look, I just want to attack something specific in your point. You said he's asking for more motivation on something that he himself thinks is impossible. I don't know how that works.
So again, I've tried to clarify this to you 14 times. Maybe you're conflating on the terms he's using because you don't watch One Piece. But again, the whole point is what he's asking for motivation for is motivation for why he's holding back, right? Why they're holding back. Again, I'm not saying that he's asking for more motivation for why they are not trying to destroy Marineford, because again, he thinks he's given a contradiction to that. Right, that's my point. Under my view, that's the whole point. So you can go ahead and keep trying to tell me that he's trying to grant some sort of possibility that these people are trying to quote unquote destroy. Grant these possibilities that they're still trying to hold back via not trying to destroy Marineford. I need the timestamp for that. I need something for that other than you just saying it is. Now again, we're gonna get into the next point since again you're just going a little bit circular here. So for the next point that I want to talk about is what do you think about the part? Wait, hold on. The part where he cuts me off at my if statement, where I say if the previous statement says this, he cuts it off and calls it circular. You've agreed previously in this recording that he lost on the circularity.
Please don't talk like a
no, because again, you already.
I can't.
Again, you already said. What?
You know, if you keep on going after I said I can't track this many.
I mean, you said what I said. You've already addressed it. You wanted to conclude on that point, so I'm saying that we can move on to the next point.
Let me conclude. Like, what the hell? Like, damn.
You can give if you want to give a conclusion on that point. I would rather not. I'd rather go into the point. No, I disagree. There's another point because your initial claim here, your initial claim is that this reductio, right, was not only actually given. There's actually a reductio given, but two, that it wasn't actually put into question or responded to. Those are two claims there. The latter of those claims needs to be evidenced.
Bro. Hold on. So let me just conclude on that point.
No. Okay, so just to be clear, wait.
On the point.
Yeah, because I need one more question. So just to be clear, you are not. Just to be clear.
Damn.
Just to be clear, are you not gonna provide me a timestamp where he provides this possibility?
We already reviewed it. We've been reviewed that.
Where was the timestamp?
And you agreed to it. That's the issue. So now I'm about to conclude. Look.
I disagree to conclusion. Wait, no. Okay, again, I don't. I didn't have. Just gonna get muted again. So the point, again, you can think that you're just gonna get muted. The point is that again, I need the timestamp for that because again, I've gone through this whole point from the 9:11 to the 9:51 mark right now, even within the last 15 minutes, multiple times, and at no point have you shown me right where this quote unquote possibility is. The only time in which I have The only time in which I have said that there's some sort of possibility of this thing that he's granting was indexed towards that there was some motivation for the overarching idea of them holding back, which is via that statement that we were talking about, the then statement. Outside of that, again, I am failing to understand where in the world I've granted that possibility. From the start, I have literally said that I disagree with that. And if I ever did say that, everything else I've said from before that as well as after that goes directly against that. So even if I did misspeak, that's just not true. Again, so I'm going to ask you, what is the timestamp, Shikio? Because you are literally just trying to run away and duck. And I'm trying to ask you for this timestamp. If it's right there, if it happened, you should just be able to give me the timestamp, right?
Okay, so in conclusion,
so again, I don't agree to conclusions. So again, I'm gonna need you to give the.
You're not gonna force me to keep on engaged with the advocacy. So in conclusion,
Okay, so just to be clear, right? You are literally going to sit here. So I'm gonna dismiss any sort of claim that you've made regarding that possibility claim because you have not provided evidence.
No, you're not. Like
it's Hitchens. I don't know. Yeah, it's Hitchens Racer. Yeah, it's Hitchens Racers.
No, dude, no. I didn't make any sort of point. You literally agreed to it. Now.
Yeah. Again, wait. No. I disagree. So again, I disagree. No. So again, just to be clear, I've already. Yeah, again, you can believe that. So again, I've made this very clear for everyone. So for everyone who's listening to this recording multiple times that I've literally said because he initially what is wrong with you? You're just saying weird shit. Now no one can even upload this shit to you. You're just weird. So the whole.
You'll be okay, bro.
Look, I mean, again, I was gonna upload on my own channel, but people can just get it taken. You're just dumb. Why you're saying that shit? Because I know you're around extorters a lot, so natural in your language. Bro. So I know that. So again, the whole point is that again, when I say that whole idea of okay, this possibility, what I was granting, and I invoked this clarification multiple times. Grace Razor, I was saying, like, look, I'm clarifying this multiple times, even if I did say it, which I don't think I said it, but I said it multiple times over, like, the last, I think, 40 minutes at this point, that what I was saying, the only thing that he's granting is possible is the overarching holding back point. There is nothing else regarding this idea of him granting some sort of possibility for more explanation or more motivation for the idea of this happening with trying to destroy the building or not. Now, either way, I'm still looking for that timestamp just because I'll actually like to engage on that because I feel like it's the crux of his position. And then outside of that, I'm still asking for a lot of other motivations, but I can just include that in my conclusion now since he's just not going to actually give the timestamp.
So low key, I can just say that, you know, I can give you like roughly where it is. I'm not gonna give you timestamp because obviously I'm about to go start recording. So right here, I'm looking for when he asks for bases. And by the way, he doesn't like directly imply a basis. He's just saying, "Oh, how do you get to this point or whatever?" Okay, so he asks that after he says, "How is Kizaru holding back then?" Okay, so now it's time to conclude. Look, throughout this debate,
repeat that. Sorry, my bad. I was responding to a DM. Could you repeat that?
Dude, okay. How is Kizaru holding back then? It's somewhere after that, like somewhere near and after that.
So that was like the 9/11. Okay, so we'll just play that back for the recording. So, wait, no, I'm playing. I'm muting you again. I'm playing it for the recording.
Dude, I can't
want what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna play it. I want Shikio to explain where this possibility is shown, and then we can either engage on it or he can drop it, and then we can conclude. So I'm gonna play it for the recording now.
There is no basis that Kizaru is actually trying to stop from destroying the place. If you think Marco actually kicked him into the base.
I think that's fine. He can get kicked into the base, sure.
So he's trying to stop the base from getting destroyed, but lets people kick him into it?
I don't necessarily think he let him.
Okay, so how is he holding back then?
That's the then part. I'll let it play for another like 10, 15 seconds to see if maybe it's, since he said around there, where that would be at. Okay, so I'm going to just explain. Okay, so your defeater to why he wouldn't be trying to destroy the base, why he's trying to not destroy the base.
I'm just asking you to demonstrate that he's actually holding back to prevent destroying the base in the first place, for one. And then for two, pointing out this example to show why that would be at odds with things he's doing within the battle.
Okay, so I'm going to explain. Okay, I'm going to explain why. Okay, so it's important to note right now what we're doing is that's it. Okay, which part?
It was just right there. And now can I conclude? Look.
No, I want you to. I want the argument as to why that's what he's saying. I don't grant that. What
you've been granted that. I swear to God, you've been granted that.
Yeah. So again,
you're not
gonna
think
that. I've already invoked Crisis
you're not gonna like backtrack
no contest
fully,
or objection
like,
from you for the last 40 minutes. So again, you can think that, you can argue that, you can think anything, right? So again, I've already explained. So yeah. So again, I didn't backtrack 40 minutes. I've said I've been saying it over the last 40 minutes, right? That's what I said.
You've been agreed. So again.
So again, I know you think that. I know you think that. I know you believe that. But the issue is that's on recording, and it's to be clear. So you would wait. Just to be clear for the recordings. If I did,
look, I'm not going to
answer
any point. Wait, I'm about to conclude.
No. I don't agree to conclusions. Again, I don't agree to conclusions.
Look, I do.
So again, I don't agree. I don't.
I don't care. Like I don't.
So you're trying to force. So you're trying to force conclusions without. No,
I'm just
doing
explaining.
like
I'm just
anything.
explaining why.
So again, you think that. So again, I'm gonna make it very clear for the recording. So again, he actually, you know what? So just to be clear, invoke Triceratops, all those things. I already said also. Yeah, go ahead, conclude. And then we'll move on to and again, we're concluding on this point. If he ducks the next point, his initial claim wasn't.
Dude, I'm so like astonished. Like. Okay.
Wait, so just to be clear, are you concluding on the entire debate or this?
I can ask about, okay, as of right now, maybe I hear your other point after, maybe I want to engage on that, but it's just like a general.
Maybe you want to engage, but I've already explained how it's required for your initial claim.
I'm not too sure because I was actually trying to talk and then you talked over me and you try to like shotgun,
Okay, so I'll explain it right now.
No, I'm going to conclude. No. Will I?
We do the conclusions. I know how you're a
Yo, this guy is a faggot.
So you're gonna go ahead and try and use out of context stuff. So again, the reason why the next point that I mentioned is very important for this debate is because his initial claim was not only there is a reductio, that the reductio was also not responded to. And that is a claim in the latter that needs to be evidenced. And that's the issue. That's what we're going to need. And here's the thing. He's saying in chat, this is an embarrassing upload for me. More than half his syndicate will say I lost. The only ones who will say, that he lost. And then the other people who will say he won will just strictly be Gyro, Vortex, and C. That's really it. C himself admits he's biased, and the other two literally dox me completely, which, by the way, Shiki literally just endorses and is fully behind. And he also is associated with extorters, just for everyone to know.
Yeah,
so outside of that, again, that's going to be important for us to go over if he wants to go over it. If he just wants to concede on that, that's fine. So yeah, outside of that, I'm going to need, again, the argument as to where this possibility was shown from what was said, because the only thing that was said there was the idea where he's like, actually, I'll just play it right here. I think it was right here.
Like, this guy is like
right here.
Actually autistic. Look, while he's playing that, I'm just like, look, this is so embarrassing for him. Like, genuinely, like, he's tried to backtrack on every single claim he's made to put.
So I'm assuming he's saying holding back to prevent destroying the base, right? That is just him asking what my argument is, right? Because again, the previous basis, as I said, could just be contradicted. Right? That's not granting some sort of possibility for what was already contradicted or attempted to be contradicted, which was the initial statement, right? The initial thing that was being contradicted or attempted to be contradicted as it entailed earlier on was just simply just going to be this idea that it's going to be these statements that are saying that, look, they're trying to not destroy the base. And then now he's asking, okay, what's the other arguments, right? Again, my interpretation remains consistent. It's not exclusive to what I said. And Shikio's just gonna keep going circular and keep question begging. So it's okay. I got.
So yeah, guys. So Sakazuki is gonna keep on rambling on about something he already conceded to, and unconcede to it somehow. So now I'm gonna conclude, guys. Look.
Oh, so you're not going to address that?
Throughout this debate? No, because you already conceded on it. No, I'm not going to. Actually, no, you already conceded on it. No, that's how it works. Faggot. Damn, shut the fuck up for a second.
If, when you initially called this out in the rec as a concession.
He just keeps on going. He just keeps on going.
Right?
Bro, shut up.
Did not agree to this.
Bro.
Or two, instantly, right? Because you said that the reason Bryce's Razor does not work here is because I'm trying to, quote-unquote, invoke it 40 minutes after, which I don't even have the argument for motivation to believe. Regardless, the whole point is that if I invoked it literally right after what I said, then would you agree you lost?
Oh my god. Okay, anyways, in conclusion.
Yes or no? Oh, wait, no. So you're not going to answer the question.
In conclusion. So yes, that's ironic. Yo, I've been trying to conclude for 20 minutes, and you haven't let me. So
yeah, because,
in conclusion. Again,
I don't want you to rat out. I don't want you to run away from this.
No, you already conceded, bro. I already walked you into the concession.
You made the claim that Bryce's Razor isn't applicable because it was 40 minutes after.
It's over.
I need the motivation.
That is not what the fuck I said.
I said that you hedged after 40 minutes. That I need this idea that if I were to have said it before, because I know I said it before, right? If I said it before, would you agree that you lost? And if I didn't even agree to it in the first place, would you agree you lost?
Okay, look. Okay, so in conclusion, I just want to
wait. No. So again, I need the actual response. What is okay? So what is the okay?
You're such a bad
just to be clear. I know you think that
everything I love, this is so embarrassing.
Your own friends think I'm better than you. No, I know you think that.
They all think you're fucking dog shit. I don't
put that on your mom's life.
Put that on your mother's life. Oh my god, on God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth himself, they think you're fucking ass, nigga. So let me conclude.
Can you
let me conclude. Can you let me know?
No,
you're not gonna cope with my fucking earlobes, faggot. No, so what I'm gonna do right now is conclude. I'm going to conclude.
No. Again, so can you specify who those friends are?
I'm going to conclude.
Specify who those friends are.
You're not gonna cope with my ear.
Just to be clear. So again, is Yanni included in that? Is Shinra included in that? Is Rizhan included in that?
You're not going to cope with my ear.
Is Gizbob included in that? Is Mercury included in that? Is Mercury included in that? Are those 5 people included? Is Aston included in that? Are those 6 people included?
Yo, bro, you're not gonna cope with my ear.
Are they included? So you're not gonna answer the question. So again, you just put that on your mother's life. So again, what's the motivation? No. What's the motivation? What's the motivation for Bryce's Razor?
You're fucking scared of losing. You are ass.
Yeah, I'm aware you think that.
You are dog shit.
You think that.
You would conclude right now if you thought you were winning, but the reason why you don't conclude
I already know I
won.
No. Again, so I'm gonna ask you again. What is the motivation?
Yo, conclude now.
No. So again, you think that the motivation. What's the motivation?
You think trying to derail. It's not gonna work.
You do realize we have another point to go over anyway. So it's you can say this
regardless. You know that you have lost this point and you refuse to conclude. And I have somebody to call later. So what we're gonna do right now is we're going to conclude.
That matters.
Yes,
no, I'm not going to conclude.
We're going
I'm not going to conclude.
You're so scared and embarrassed of losing.
Yeah, so again, because if you stop spurging, we could get to.
No, nigga, I've been trying to conclude for 20 minutes now.
Because you haven't responded to one thing I said. If you respond, then we'll conclude.
If you are confident that I haven't responded to anything, then you would let me conclude. You won.
Again, I don't know because I've been having to mute you because you're yelling at me.
You don't know. Oh my god. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Not
that
mine.
You're yelling with a loud mic?
It's not my fault that you muted me.
You're screaming with a loud mic. Yes,
I don't have a loud mic.
So again, I'm going to keep...
I just keep it all again.
You can think that you have your mic volume turned all the way up then. Whatever it may be.
Okay, so now it's time to conclude. Look,
no, it isn't. I disagree. I don't agree to conclusion. So again, what is the motivation for Bryce's razor not work? You can think. So you conceded.
No, I didn't concede.
So you conceded. Oh, okay, good. That's all right. Okay, so again, yeah, I know you think that. I know you think that. So yeah, I know you think that. That was a claim. I actually justify it. You didn't. So again, the whole point. Yeah, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
If you don't think,
so again, that's question back as well. So hold on. No, you're muted again. So again, just to be clear for my recording, because you won't be able to hear on his recording. The whole point is that I'm asking for, even if I didn't invoke it right away,
I'm so dead.
and even if I even said it in the first place, which I don't think I said in the first place. And then if I did, I know I clarified because he tried misrepresenting it right after, and then I clarified. And then on top of that, I said it like consistently for the next 40 minutes. And he's saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter because you're saying it like this X time after in advance. I'm asking the motivation for why it wouldn't apply then, given, as I've explained, the things I've said prior in the debate and after in the debate align with the interpretation I'm trying to clarify too. And he's just like very, very confused and not responding.
Oh my god. So can I conclude now or what?
Are you gonna respond to that?
Can I conclude now or what? Are you gonna
if you respond
in response to my questions?
If you respond to that, sure.
Wait, what if I just conclude? What are you gonna do?
Then I'm just gonna continue. I'm gonna continue my rec and say you conceded because you're not responding to the argument.
Say I conceded. No, I already issued you a concession. It's okay, dude.
Yeah. Again, why do you have any authority over that? And what's the argument that?
I already gave you the argument that it was a concession. Look.
And again, that argument is circular. That argument's gonna be circular.
Wait, what's the argument?
The argument that I conceded, your argument that I conceded is that you believe that I agreed that there's a possibility that Draco granted that these people are still, they're by virtue of them not trying to destroy Marineford, there's a possibility by virtue of that they could still be holding back, right? And I was saying that, look, I don't grant that that's what he's saying. I don't think that he's wait, hold on, I'm not done, right? So again, you were saying that, and you're saying that because he's granting that possibility, obviously he can't be, giving a contradiction, because if he's giving a contradiction, there would be no possibility of this thing. Well, again, what I explained is that one. So yeah, I can track you completely fine. You're not good. So the whole point is,
I mean, that's like,
I'm aware you think that. And again, as I've explained, one, I didn't agree to the former. I didn't agree that possibility was ever given. Right? Hold on. And again, wait. Yeah. Okay. So again, you're just gonna get muted again. You want that or?
No, we can conclude though.
Okay. So let me finish what I'm saying. Then we can conclude. Right. So again, just to be clear. So just to be clear, again, I didn't say that. Even if I did, when he initially tried to misrepresent it, initially right after I said the initial thing, because what I said and what I agreed to is that what he granted to be. Wait, again, I did not say it.
Okay, so again, so let's not go with if I did say that, no, be confident what you said.
Again, you're trying to play these rhetorical. He's trying to play weird rhetoric games that no one finds appealing other than Gyro and Vortex. So again, when we're talking about what happened, I'm literally just saying that, look, at the end of the day, I didn't say it, right? And he interpreted it this way. He then tries to say it that way. And I'm like, look, at the time, I literally said, even if I did say that, let me clarify very
obviously, I'm not gonna let you hedge.
Specific for you, because I know you're a retard. You're gonna hang on to this and really run with it. So I'm gonna just let you know that at the end of the day, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying before aligns with this clarification I'm trying to give you, which is the possibility he's giving is that there's a possibility they're still holding back. Right? Not the possibility that they're holding back by virtue of this, of these statements that I was reciting before. Right? It's a different piece of evidence. A different piece of evidence is what I'm referring to there. And at the end of the day, he just didn't respond to that. And then he's saying that, oh, well, I didn't clarify back then, which I did. Right? He's saying that I said this, which I didn't. And then now, I have said multiple times within the last 40 minutes that I am clarifying now, even if not. Right? And again, the reason I'm able to clarify was because it's consistent with what I said before as well as after. And at the end of the day, he then said that, oh, well, it said 40 minutes after. I asked him
Sakazuki.
Response. He is not
Look,
responding. I'm
Sakazuki.
still trying to get the response because again, I'm trying to truth seek here.
Look, Sakazuki.
He's not. He's just trying to be a goon.
Like this is such a ramble fest. Like, dude, Sakazuki, like I'm not gonna listen to your culpa anymore. Look, I'm gonna conclude.
Again, are you gonna give the argument? Or are you gonna say just say no? I won't respond. Say no. 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 I won't respond. And I'll let you conclude. I'll agree. If you say no, I won't respond.
Whether let me or not. I'm just gonna do it anyways. So basically, throughout the debate. So basically, throughout the debate. Yeah. So basically, throughout the debate. Look, I tried to. I gave this argument, right? And the argument was basically like P1. If Draco gave an argument that didn't display contradictions to Solicitor, then it is right to assume that his intent wasn't a contradiction. Draco gave an argument that didn't display contradictions to Solicitor, then it's right to assume that his intent wasn't a contradiction. So basically, this argument was in response to Sakazuki asking me for an argument for for Draco, not having the intent of a contradiction, because that's his main point. He tried to give a contradiction and he failed, and obviously, I grant that he failed to, give the contradiction because I don't think it's a contradiction at all. I don't think he intended to do it either. And I said that the way the data is explained is because my interpretation posits only what he said and only what is said and explains it fully, while Sakazuki posits more than and also does explain it fully. I mean, it's just like a standard parsimony objection. I'm so serious. And then, he said a couple things in response. He basically asked me, how is it the case that, my parsimony, his argument fails on parsimony when you have the same amount of claims. I'm saying that his claims aren't explained fully. Look, his claims will have to posit basically there being a contradiction will be way more than granting that it just makes sense. It just doesn't make sense, and it's a contradiction. Contradictions also try to explain that some argument or something doesn't make sense. Obviously, a square circle doesn't make sense. I mean, that's kind of obvious. Look, I said this all I said a bit of this while Sakazuki had me on mute, and the reason why I said it while he had me on mute is just because there shouldn't be anything that's warranting muting your interlocutor. There's absolutely nothing, and that's why I'm about to and now that's why I'm saying all this. Yeah, so okay, so we got into some other points, and then we eventually walked into the concession. I'm just gonna get to the main meat and potatoes. So basically, he agreed that on rec that Draco did posit that you could possibly give a basis to explain the data, and the fact that he intended to do a contradiction. And I'm like, wait, if he posits that, or if Sakazuki agrees that Draco said that there could possibly be an explanation for this, then he wouldn't also agree that Draco thinks that there's an intent for a contradiction, because the whole point of the contradiction is that there isn't possibly any circumstance in which this could be the case. So there couldn't be any circumstance in which this can be explained, and Sakazuki agreed with that. And now we have two vouchers, me and Sakazuki, that both agrees that this data can get explained. This data can get explained by the fact that what was it again? Oh, I gotta read my notes real quick.
You can't even track.
The data can be explained by. I gotta read the notes. I don't know these characters' names. It was Kizaru or something. Where is it?
You're talking about them not trying to destroy the thing, bro.
Oh yeah, Draco says that there's no basis. Wait, no, it's not that. He said that. How is he trying to protect the base? Was letting himself getting kicked into it. Yeah, Draco grants that there could be a basis. So obviously, he's not saying it's a contradiction. And we have two vouchers that both agree that Draco did say that he was trying to that there was possibly a basis. So yeah, Sakazuki just walked into that concession really fast. Obviously, the way Draco phrased everything would trivially imply that he wasn't going for a contradiction. He was just going for some sort of reductio. And that's why I won. My claim doesn't fail on parsimony like his, compared to his, and he walked straight into that. I mean, okay.
Can I talk now?
I ain't gonna lie, you've talked enough. I think the debate's over.
I can't give a conclusion, so you're ending your rec without a conclusion, even though you invoke conclusions without me
saying
given
I agree. 20 conclusions, nigga.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't even. There's a first part of the debate you completely ignored conclusion, actually.
Probably not relevant.
I mean, again, so did you already end your rec? If so, it's an out of context rec. I just want that to be very clear. And I'll make that clear for my rec.
Yeah, you can continue going, bro.
Yeah. So just to be clear, so just running it from the start. So at the start, we start off. I make it very clear that look, okay, when we talk about the debate, we agree I won the first point. We agree I won the third point. The real contention was within the second point, and his contention was one, that there is a reductio presented, and two, that within this reductio, it's not a contradiction, but rather him arguing that it's absurd. And essentially, I was like, well, I'm not sure why it's likely him arguing for it to be absurd, because I just don't see like the motivation for that. And you're positing I lost. So I need the likely argument as to why he's actually arguing for this thing to make sense, because I don't really care for some intuition pump. And obviously, me and him didn't want that. So we sort of actually decided to engage on what's more likely here. And he decided to tell me that, look, the reason why he thinks it's more likely for it to make sense is because of this formal argument he presented, which I'll go over in a second. But the thing that he actually never addressed once in the debate was my definition of no. I cited it from the recording that he said no. I gave the colloquial definitions, like the first 3 definitions of no, talking about not at all, not to any extent, literally saying 0. Right, saying there's none, and it was followed up by because of X. So he's saying there's 0, there's none, there's no extent because of X. Obviously saying some sort of contradiction, not granting a possibility here. That was never contended. But then, even then, I was like, you know what? Shiki's a good guy. Want to have, a truth-seeking conversation with the guy. Thought he would be a little bit more honest, because that's what Yanni told me he would do. But obviously, that's not what he did. We then move into his little formal argument he gave, where he goes, P1, if Draco gave an argument that didn't display a contradiction, then it's right to assume his intent wasn't a contradiction. P2, Draco gave an argument that didn't display a contradiction. Conclusion, it's right to assume his intent wasn't a contradiction. And again, he gave this because he made the claim that because the result of this was an unsuccessful contradiction, it wasn't a contradiction, right? That because of that, then we have motivation to believe that his intention was. And I put that into question because I don't believe that, really works. And he gave this argument. And I asked for P1, and with P1, I put that into question. P1, again, being if Draco gave an argument that a contradiction, then it's right to assume his intent wasn't a contradiction. His justification for this was, as he sort of mentioned, a parsimony thing. But there was part of his rec where he actually lied, and I screenshotted this because I know he'll try to edit it now, where he literally sets verbatim his explanation for P1 is written in the paragraph, right, the sentences below his formal argument, which is the way the data is explained better is because my interpretation posits only what is said and explains it fully, while Sakazuki's posits more and does also explain it fully. So essentially, the disagreement, right? And again, in his conclusion, maybe you misspoke. That's why I brought this up. Was that you said it doesn't explain it fully? But in your thing, it said does. So I just wanted to bring that up. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to bring that up just in case. So essentially, the disagreement, as he said, was a parsimony issue. He believed I posited more entities. And again, when he first tried to actually explain this parsimony issue, he actually had a massive hedge that he actually fixed, and I'm glad that he actually fixed it. He didn't actually acknowledge he hedged, but at least he fixed it, going into the later portions of the rec, which is that he was like, oh, well, I'm just saying it could be any sort of, counter argument. Because what we did is we established what a counter argument is. We established that a counter argument is simply just going to be, look, a counter argument is something that is trying to defeat the claim that was made to it, right? You're trying to defeat that claim. Initially, he tried to sneak in some stuff about, and it being dumb, right? You can try and make it to be dumb. I was like, no, I don't grant that. I grant the first portion. And we granted the first portion. We moved forward. And essentially, he was like, look, what I'm saying is it could be any counter argument. I'm not making a claim on what type of counter argument, right? But it wouldn't be a contradiction. Well, I'm like, well, look, you already posited this to be a reductio. We even brought infinity in, the idea of a reductio, right? It's either trying to make it absurd or a contradiction. He's saying it's not a contradiction. So obviously what we're left with is this idea of it being absurd or it doesn't make sense, which is the exact verbiage he was using prior. And when it came to that idea of that verbiage of makes sense, he was saying, look, I'm positing less entities here because of this idea that you're saying that it's a counter argument and that it is a contradiction. Well, I'm saying, look, you're saying it's a counter argument in that it's a sense of being a reductio ad absurdum.